You know, we talk about Mario Kart a lot on this channel, but we don't really talk about other kart racers, and I feel like there's been a lack of them in this decade specifically. I mean, in the 2000s and 90s, we got all kinds of kart racers. We got Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart, of course, then the countless clones in the 90s and 2000s. But have you noticed in the 2010s we really haven't gotten that many different ones?
Yeah, it's been pretty lackluster, especially from someone like me who's a big fan of those types of video games. Um, all we really wait for is a new Mario Kart because nobody really makes good kart racers anymore. I mean, yeah, there's racing games, but not particularly great kart racers.
I mean, to be fair, one of the kart racers that I played back in the day was Madagascar Karts for the Wii, and surprisingly, it was
Nice.
actually pretty good. And I would say it was kind of like the DreamWorks Smash Bros. Of kart racers, because not only did you have the characters from
Mm.
Madagascar, but also Shrek and Bob the Blob from Monsters vs. Aliens. It was pretty good, and it
They
came with
also,
no, it came with a green
mhm,
wheel too. And whenever people would come
nice.
over and saw it, they said, "Wow, is that a Yoshi wheel? I didn't know you could get one of
Okay,
those."
before, excuse me, before anyone tells me in the comments about this. Yes, I do know about the Sega and Sonic and Sega All Stars racing games. Those were pretty good. They're pretty solid. But as of recent, with Team Sonic Racing, it's kind of lackluster and disappointed to live up to my expectations. So it's a pretty barren wasteland for kart racers until a certain remake came along.
Or you mean a certain game? None other than Mario Kart Tour, right? Right?
N- no, not at all.
Oh, well, the game's technically not
No,
out yet.
well, what I'm referring to is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, a remake, or should I say, reimagining of the original game from the late 90s. Hard as nails kart racer that lived up to the potential that Mario Kart 64 and Diddy Kong Racing had beforehand. Now, I'm familiar with the Crash games because I grew up with them, but I never played Crash Team Racing. I've always known what it was, but I never had the chance to play it. I guess we should go with your thoughts first. What are your first impressions of the game, coming from a first-time Crash fan?
Well, first time Crash fan, I'm not sure if you mean in a traditional way, because I've known about Crash ever since I was like 5 or 6. Because
Well,
at
I
the
mean,
time,
yeah,
McDonald's was giving out free Crash games in the Happy Meals. That's when McDonald's
but
actually had
yeah,
cool toys with the Happy Meals, and they had a few Crash games. There was one Space Invaders type game that I played where it was Crash versus Cortex, and then there was this DDR thing. They were like Game& and Watch games, but I was always interested in the character. But at
yeah.
the
What I
time, I
meant,
didn't have a
yeah,
PS2, and there weren't that many
yeah,
on Nintendo consoles. But I finally got a
yeah,
PS2, and after that, I really got into the series, and I
yeah.
enjoyed Crash Twinsanity, the trilogy on the Switch, and now Crash
Mm,
Team Racing. Now, I'm not just
yeah.
happy because it's a new Crash game, I'm also happy because it gives us another option as a kart racer on the Switch. As we've seen
Yeah.
before, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting kinda old since that game's technically 5 years old now. Team Sonic
Yeah.
Racing, I heard, wasn't very good. Nickelodeon Racers, forget about it. I don't think that could even be better than Sonic or Team Sonic Racing. But
Yeah.
Crash Team Racing, it seemed promising, and it was only 40
Oh yeah.
bucks. Vicarious Visions has done
Mm,
pretty good things for the Crash series, and this was developed by Beanox instead of Toys for Bob. So I was a little bit worried at first, not very worried though, because it
same.
looked like a polished game. But I
Yeah.
got it on launch day, and originally I was gonna
Mm,
make a video, a day or two after. But then I realized that wouldn't really be a good time to make it because that's when you're in the honeymoon phase with the game. You start to
right.
just enjoy it for what it is, and you don't see the problems until later. That happened with Mario Tennis Aces for me because I really liked the game the first 2 days, and then I 100%ed it in like 15 hours or something. And now I hate the
Yeah.
game. But
Well, unlike Aces, there's one thing for sure. This game is packed full of content, and I mean packed. for even for a kart racer nowadays, even more so than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I feel. Um, but one of the things about CTR that I've always heard is that it's a totally different beast from Mario Kart. And I never understood why, because watching gameplay of it, it seems like a normal kart racer. But when you play CTR, it really is a totally different beast from the controls to how you drift to the tricks that you need to learn and to you know to the fact that you really need skill to master these tracks. It's a nice change of pace in in a world where kart racers are kind of easy. And I don't know if you agree with that with me.
Now, I would say compared to something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, yeah, those kart racers could be considered kind of easy, but kart racers are meant to be more casual. They're meant for multiplayer and stuff like that, but I feel like Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled, I haven't played the original. It's more single player oriented because of course there's adventure mode. We'll get into that a little more because that's a big part of the game. There's a ton of
Right.
content you can play around with in the game. There's a bunch of skins. Take the note, Mario Kart. Characters, stuff to unlock, and it's really nice to have all this in a title that's only $40, and that's another thing. I've noticed a lot of
Yeah.
great Switch games are only $30 or $40. We got Sonic Mania, Katamari Damacy Reroll, Crash Team
Hmm.
Racing, of course the Insane Trilogy, Spyro when that comes out. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
One of the things I love about Nitro Fueled is the amount of love we get in the game. So it's not just CTR material. It's they even have Nitro Kart stuff. So Crash Nitro Kart was a sequel to Crash Team Racing from Vicarious Visions. So they include tracks from that game and they include characters from that game, which is really nice. Now you would think like I would be the ultimate Naughty Dog purist, but to be honest with you, a lot of characters that I like from the Crash universe came from the post Naughty Dog games. So I was super happy to learn that Crunch was in the game. Um, other characters from Crash Nitro Kart as well. And the fact that even more are coming, and there's rumors that tag team racing characters might be coming as well. Um,
There were quite a few
so
Crash Racing games, I think.
yeah, there was I think there was three in total. It was Team Racing, Nitro Kart, Tag Team Racing.
Oh, don't forget
Those are
Nitro
the
Kart
main
2.
three. Uh, we don't talk about that. But no, and they even have entrants from the Game Boy games. Well, Game Boy and the Nitro Kart game, but
You know
it's really
Spyro was in
cool.
that game too?
Spyro is in the game too. Spyro is actually going to be in Nitro Fueled later on
He
as
wasn't
free
Nitro Kart
DLC.
though, the Game Boy Advance
Yeah,
version.
yes, I do know that. And he will be making a reappearance. But yeah, it's insane how much characters from the Crash series they're including, and that there's more coming. It gets me excited for the future of the series because most of these characters haven't been reintroduced to the franchise since it's kind of been rebooted. So I'll be interested to see how these characters are reintroduced and re-implemented into the series moving forward, especially with the kind of Crash 4 that everyone kind of wants. But I'll stop talking. I'll let you, and I'll hear your opinions on the roster and everything.
Now, considering the Crash series and the roster, I think this is a great roster because pretty much everyone from the Crash series is playable. You got most, if not all, the bosses from the Crash games. You
Right.
got skins for the characters, and I think
Mm.
Mario Kart should take a lesson from that because the world's most known and prestigious video game series compared to something that was kind of a relic of the 90s and 2000s having a better roster. Come on.
It's
And yeah,
yeah,
of
it's
course,
sad.
I'm kind of biased with Mario Kart. I'm going to make the comparisons because this is really the only kart racer I've played besides Madagascar's and Mario Kart that I really got into. So the
Hmm.
roster is great, but I also love how many unlockables there are. The adventure mode is where you unlock most of the stuff, and that is something that
Yeah.
is great to have because a lot of kart racers out there, its main focus is the multiplayer, and like I said before, the single player is the main focus here. So the adventure mode is
Yeah.
kind of similar to Diddy Kong Racing, except there are way more objectives, it's more replayable, so you first have to win first place, then you gotta get the CTR tokens, and are the relic
Mhm.
things are mandatory or not really?
Um, if you want to unlock entropy, I believe you need to get all the relics.
But unlike, yeah, so you got those three options, and I will say, a lot of people are
Hmm.
complaining about the difficulty of the game, but the
Hmm.
AI can be a little cheap at times, but I didn't find the difficulty too bad because there were times where I was far ahead of any other racer and there really wasn't any rubber
Yeah.
banding. You just gotta get good at the game by mastering the power steering,
Yeah.
knowing the course.
I
It's a
I
difficult
think
game,
that's
but that's kind of
no.
how the
Yeah.
Crash games are. You gotta practice, it's trial and error. There's no smart
Hmm.
steering here, there's no auto accelerate. This is a man's kart racer.
Way to steal my words from the other day. Uh, but yeah, I agree. I this game kicked my butt for the first few days. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but I'm a week in and I still love it. It's addicting, to be honest. This challenge, the amount of challenge, and I learned how to drift and how to boost properly, um, pretty quickly because I kept trying and persevering and stuff like that. Um, and it just makes me more of a skilled player. Crash Team Racing is a racing game that rewards you for being skilled, right? It doesn't baby you because oh you're playing with your friends. No, it really challenges you to be a better gamer, and I kind of feel I understand critics' complaints. Some of the items are kind of wonky at times. I will agree on that, but I don't think difficulty is a problem. Uh, I really just think they didn't, spend enough time with the game because I'll be honest with you, I'm better at the game now than I was a week ago. I don't know if that's the same for you.
I am too.
Yeah. So, I'm better at drifting. I'm better at using my items more efficiently. I'm better at finding shortcuts. It's just a matter of trial and error. It's literally a racing version of the Crash games, which is perfect because I love the Crash games. Uh, so this game isn't for everyone, I don't think. But if you're willing to give it a chance and try a man's kart racer, then then give it a shot. I really think, in my opinion, right now, it's my favorite kart racer at the moment.
Wait until Mario Kart Tour comes out.
No, I don't think my opinion will change.
It's kind of a
Um,
joke because I still do have hope in the game, but I know you hate it with a passion, so that's why I'm
yes.
mentioning it. But
Um,
there has been
yeah.
criticism to the game of it being too hard, but I think that's
Hmm.
mainly because kart racers are usually casual and people aren't used to it. Once they get used to it, I'm sure
Yeah.
they'd like it more. But
Yeah.
the
Like you and
difficulty
I.
isn't one of
Yeah.
my criticisms with the game. What
No,
is, though,
absolutely.
is the pit
Hmm.
stop and unlocking currency in game. It's online
Hmm.
only, which is really weird.
It is. Um, and you would assume that all the characters are already in the code of the game instead of having to be downloaded online.
Yeah, that kind of bothered me. So
Yeah.
essentially, when you do or win a race, or even get second place,
Hmm.
you're awarded currency. But let's say you're playing in handheld
Yeah.
mode where you don't have a Wi-Fi connection. That can be a problem because if you're not next to a connection, you won't get the currency, which is a problem because you won't be able to unlock the stuff if you play in handheld mode a lot.
Yeah, my big problem is that you don't get Wumpa coins when you're you know, you don't get Wumpa coins if you're not connected to the internet, which doesn't really make sense to me. I would I that doesn't I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way. And the pit stop itself screams Fortnite to me, in the sense that it's randomized for the items you could get. Well, actually, I don't know if it's Super Fortnite, but anyways, the point is that you're not allowed to even pay for the character that you want or the skins that you want or whatever. It changes every day. Um, and I honestly don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I was lucky to even buy Crunch the second day that I had the game. Um, and to be honest, the characters that have been popping up recently, I don't care about. Like Big Norm and Small Norm. Like, why would I want to buy those characters?
Because you got
You
medium
know?
norm.
Yeah, well, but you get what I mean, right? Like, give people at least the chance to buy who they, buy the characters that they want, you know?
Yeah, that
Um,
was kind of annoying. But other than that,
that's,
the AI can be
yeah,
a little bit cheap at times. I don't have the Switch Online service, but I'm getting
yeah,
that with Super Mario Maker 2. I don't know about you.
I might, it depends, but,
Only if the Fly
I
Swatter
don't know,
minigame makes an appearance.
but I don't know, if I would call the AI cheap. Um, Sometimes it is. I do feel like sometimes there is some rubber banding in the game. Or maybe it's just the character's stats. I'm not too sure. But it's not game breaking to me personally. And if anything, I think it could be fixed with the patch. And I know a lot of people get annoyed when people say that, but it's not like the game is broken or anything, and where they're like, "Oh, it'll be fixed in a patch." No, I'm just saying like it's not game breaking, but I'm sure like if there's enough complaints about it, they'll fix it up a little bit. But overall, I am thoroughly impressed with this game. Its presentation, especially on the Switch. I
Yeah,
thought the
even
Switch
though it's
version was not
720p, it
good.
looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks great, and it's 30 frames per second too. I don't really think you'll notice that much at all, to be honest with you.
Honestly, I think it can
Did
be
you notice
compared
at
to
all?
Mario Kart 8 with the graphics.
Yeah, I mean Mario Kart 8 looks, I think, like the better game, but CTR, it looks good for a port, like really good, and I'm actually quite glad that I got it for the Switch.
Because you can play it in handheld mode too. And a little bit
Yeah.
on that. It's 480p, but it doesn't look as bad as Insane Trilogy does. It's a little fuzzy, you have to get used to it, but I didn't have a problem with
Now,
it.
yeah,
I'd say the
no,
trade-off for
yeah.
portability over a higher resolution is way more important to me. Because if I want to see the
I
game in all its glory, I'll just play it on the TV.
Yeah, I don't think it looks that bad in handheld mode. Again, it is a little fuzzy because it's 480p, but I don't mind. Now, I don't have the Insane Trilogy yet on the Switch, so I don't know how bad that looks in handheld mode. I'm hoping it's not as bad as you're making it out to be, because I'm kind of planning to get that.
Just a little bit fuzzy, that's all. It's not horrible.
Okay, all right, cool. But yeah, any last thoughts? It's pretty short because I think we both really enjoy the game.
Yeah, this is one of the podcasts where we're pretty like-minded on the subject. It's not something like mobile games where I'm kind of for them and you're totally against them. But this
Yeah,
is really just us praising the game, talking about the criticisms of the game. I will
yeah.
say this because this has to be addressed. Do I
hmm
think it's better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? No, I don't think so. I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best kart racer you can get on the Switch. However, comparing the two is kind of like comparing apples and oranges because one's a casual, multiplayer friendly kart racer that has awesome tracks and gameplay, and the
hmm
other one is more of a single player kart racer that's really difficult. Kind of like
Yeah.
F-Zero, but it's a kart racer and not futuristic. So I
I
would say
yeah,
if you're looking for a more single player oriented kart racer, then Crash Team Racing is definitely the way to go. But if you want something a little more accessible or casual, then I'd choose Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But these two games are the
yeah,
best kart racers on the Switch, and considering Crash Team Racing is only $40, I'd recommend it to
it's a
anyone who
steal.
likes those kind of games.
Yeah, and I will agree with you on that. I think Mario Kart is the better game just because of how broad its demographic can be in terms of casual play. But for me personally, CTR speaks to me on another level. Like again, I keep saying this is a man's kart racer because it has challenge, it has an adventure mode, it has everything that I want in a kart racer. Because I don't play with friends that often, you know? And it sucks when I have to play Mario Kart by myself. Now I have CTR to fill that gap. So at the moment, yeah, it's my favorite kart racer. But am I going to deny that Mario Kart is kind of better in terms of who its audience is? No, not really. But like you said, they're both totally different beasts, and that's okay.
I mean, with something like Team Sonic Racing, you could compare that to Mario Kart, and yeah, obviously Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to be the better game. But this is a different
Yeah.
situation right here because the gameplay is just that much more different, and the focus is not really with the multiplayer, but with the adventure mode. And by the way, that's something
Mm,
Mario Kart has to add because they've been doing adventure modes in Kart
yeah.
Racer since Diddy Kong Racing, and they kind of did it with Mario Kart DS and Mario
Yeah,
Kart
or
Tour to an extent. But
bring back mission mode.
that's for another day. And so far, I think Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is an excellent game to have on the Switch, and I'm very happy that I got it.
And I can't wait to see where the franchise goes. Maybe that'll be a future podcast. Who knows?
Crash to the future. Anyways,
Crash to
thanks
the
for
future.
watching. I'm Demise,
And I'm Ty the Guy 2800.
and keep calm and da da on.